May 28, 1940, Berlin. The air is thick with cigarette smoke, and the scrape of boots on marble. A report lands on the desk. Pages rustle. A sneer forms. The Reich's marshal dismisses the numbers. 50,000 planes a year? Impossible. The Americans are dreaming. He laughs, and the room echoes with contempt. But outside, the world is changing. In Detroit, machines roar. Sparks fly. Steel bends. The stakes. The fate of nations. The question: how does a democracy outbuild a dictatorship when the world is on fire? The promise is clear. If America can build what it claims, the war's outcome will shift. But in 1940, the odds seem absurd. The United States has produced just 3,611 military aircraft the previous year. Its air force is small, its planes outdated. Yet, on May 16th, as German panzers thunder through France, President Roosevelt stands before Congress. He calls for a miracle: 50,000 planes a year. The world scoffs. Even allies doubt. But in the factories, a transformation begins. William Knudsen, a Danish immigrant and former auto executive, answers the call. He leaves behind a fortune to work for a single dollar. His task: turn America's peacetime industry into a war machine. He brings the logic of the assembly line to the world of wings and engines. The challenge is immense. Factories must be built from scratch. Workers must be trained. Designs must be adapted for mass production. Every day, the numbers climb. By December 1941, American plants are turning out 2,000 planes a month, a 20-fold leap in just 2 years. The night hums with the sound of riveters and the clang of steel. In Michigan, the Ford Motor Company breaks ground on Willow Run. The site sprawls across farmland, destined to become the world's largest factory under one roof. The assembly line will stretch a mile. Charles Sorensen, Ford's production chief, promises a bomber an hour. Skeptics call it fantasy. The first B-24 Liberator rolls out in September 1942, but it's a disaster. Quality control fails. Half the planes need rebuilding. But the engineers refuse to quit. They break the bomber into subassemblies. Hydraulic tools speed up riveting. Wiring harnesses are prefabricated. By September 1943, Willow Run is producing 148 bombers a month. By December, 365. The breakthrough comes in April 1944, 428 bombers in a single month. One every 63 minutes, day and night. This single factory now outproduces the entire German aviation industry. The news filters to the front. In Tunisia, German pilots notice a change. The skies fill with American planes. Major Johannes Steinhoff, a Luftwaffe ace, sees the shift. The Americans are no longer amateurs. Their numbers grow daily. The mathematics become brutal. In October 1943, during Black Thursday at Schweinfurt, the Americans lose 60 bombers in a single raid. 2 weeks later, replacements arrive. The Luftwaffe cannot keep up. For every 1,000 fighters Germany builds, it loses 1,200. America, meanwhile, produces 2,500 fighters a month and loses just 400. Time accelerates. February 1944, the Allies launch Big Week. 3,500 bombers strike German aircraft factories. The Luftwaffe loses hundreds of fighters and, more critically, irreplaceable veteran pilots. The balance tips. German aces face impossible odds. Over Brunswick, 8 fighters confront a stream of 700 bombers. The sky is a wall of aluminum. The outcome is never in doubt. By 1944, American production reaches its zenith. 96,000 aircraft roll off the lines in a single year. 35,000 fighters. 22,000 multi-engine planes. The numbers dwarf Germany's entire wartime output. But it's not just quantity. Each American bomber bristles with 13.50 caliber machine guns. German fighters launch with half-empty magazines. American planes boast powered turrets, advanced bomb sights, and reliable radios. German aircraft often lack even basic equipment. Factories across the nation join the surge. Boeing's Seattle plant produces 16 B-17s daily. Douglas Aircraft grows from 68 employees to 167,000. North American aviation, turns out 500 P-51 Mustangs a month. Lockheed builds a P-38 Lightning every 90 minutes, adapting to over 2,000 combat-driven modifications. General Motors and Packard churn out engines by the tens of thousands. Alcoa's aluminum output multiplies six-fold. Dow Chemical's magnesium production explodes from 6 million to 333 million pounds. The workforce transforms. In 1940, women are less than 1% of aircraft workers. By 1943, they are 65%. 310,000 women join the industry. At Douglas Long Beach, more than half the employees are women. Rose Will Monroe, the original Rosie the Riveter, drives 3,000 rivets per shift at Willow Run with near-perfect accuracy. Women inspectors slash defect rates. Tools are redesigned for smaller hands, boosting efficiency. Lighter pneumatic tools reduce fatigue. Workstations are reconfigured to prevent injuries. German intelligence dismisses this as desperation. In reality, it's a revolution. Time passes. The Nazi leadership clings to fantasy. Göring authorizes the Jaeger program, dispersing production into 700 underground sites. Slave laborers toil in darkness. 20,000 die in the middlework complex. Sabotage is rampant. Quality collapses. The entire underground network produces fewer engines than Ford's Chicago plant. Transportation delays and sabotage cripple output. The Reich's industrial machine is breaking down. Now the physics becomes the enemy. American innovation accelerates. Boeing develops modular B-29 construction across 4 plants. Parts are fully interchangeable. The B-29, pressurized and bristling with technology, costs $65,000 each. Germany can't match it. By early 1945, America is building 100 B-29s a month. The scale is overwhelming. June 6, 1944, D-Day. The sky over Normandy fills with 11,500 Allied aircraft. German sorties numbered just 319, the ratio 36-1. This is not a battle, it is industrial annihilation. In the months before the invasion, Allied bombers dropped 145,000 tons on German targets, more than all German bombing of Britain during the entire war. Transport planes deliver 3 airborne divisions in a single day, using more aircraft than Germany's entire transport fleet ever possessed. By December 1944, single raids involved 1,200 bombers escorted by 900 fighters. The P-51 Mustang, with range to reach Poland and performance to match any opponent, swarms the skies. German pilots call them Indians, appearing everywhere at once. The Luftwaffe is overwhelmed. Even Nazi leaders admit the truth. Goebbels writes in his diary, "Göring's promises are criminal delusions. The Americans can lose 10 tanks for everyone we destroy and still win. When they land, they will come with such material superiority that no position can hold." The numbers tell the story. By 1944, America produces more aircraft monthly than Germany does in a year. Films of Willow Run's assembly lines play at Nuremberg. Charts show the scale. Göring, once so dismissive, stares in silence. He fixates on Willow Run, calling it the factory that broke our backs. The mathematical reality is inescapable. America produces 812,000 aircraft engines. Germany, just 241,000. The defeat is total. The transformation scope is staggering. From 3,611 military aircraft in 1940, America builds nearly 300,000 by war's end. 2 million Americans work in aircraft production at the peak. The workforce is unprecedented in its diversity. Women, African Americans, Mexican Americans, Native Americans, disabled workers, teenagers, the elderly. Voluntary cooperation achieves what forced labor cannot. The workers who entered the factories in 1941, knowing nothing about aircraft, emerge in 1945 as the world's most skilled aviation workforce. They don't just build planes, they revolutionize manufacturing itself. Statistical quality control, developed for bombers, becomes standard practice worldwide. Automation principles pioneered at Willow Run transform global industry. The engineers who designed bomber assembly lines will one day design the Saturn V rocket. The women who rivet B-24s will raise children who walk on the moon. The production miracle doesn't end with victory. It launches the American century. The financial cost is immense. Aircraft production consumes $45 billion, $800 billion in today's money. The B-29 program alone costs more than the Manhattan Project. Yet instead of bankrupting America, war production creates prosperity. Unemployment vanishes, personal income doubles, workers buy war bonds, funding their own factories. Willow Run workers alone purchase $45 million in bonds. Germany, by contrast, devotes 40% of its industry to aircraft production by 1944, yet produces less than half America's output. Slave labor proves counterproductive. Sabotage is endemic. Productivity per German worker declines after 1943, while American productivity triples. The infrastructure built for war becomes the foundation for post-war prosperity. Aluminum smelters supply suburban housing. Chemical plants create plastics for peacetime goods. Machine tool factories equip American industry for global dominance. Beyond raw numbers lies organizational genius. The War Production Board coordinates 184,000 companies. IBM punch cards track millions of components. MIT's Radiation Laboratory develops navigation systems that give American bombers all-weather capability. When combat reveals B-17 vulnerability, Boeing adds chin turrets in 60 days. When Pacific operations demand range, B-24s are modified without halting production. German modifications take months or years. American improvements take weeks. This adaptability is as decisive as volume. American aircraft evolve continuously. Information flows from Pacific battles to Atlantic production lines within days. German aircraft, built in isolated underground factories by slave labor, remain static. The feedback loop between combat and production achieves unprecedented efficiency. Pilots' observations reach engineers immediately. Engineers' solutions reach assembly lines within days. Workers' suggestions reach designers directly. This democratic flow of information outpaces German hierarchy at every turn. October 15, 1946, hours before his execution, Göring writes his final letter. He admits the truth. America won through industrial power, not military prowess. The nation he mocked buried the Wehrmacht under aluminum and steel. His last words to his psychologist echo with regret. We declared war on an industrial giant while it slept. When it awoke, we were doomed. They didn't just outproduce us. They revolutionized production itself. The verdict is clear. Military historians agree. The American production miracle was the decisive factor in Allied victory. Without overwhelming material superiority, D-Day would have been impossible. The bombing campaign unsustainable. The Pacific War unwinnable. The Allies won because they buried their enemies under an avalanche of production. By 1944, America alone produces more military aircraft than the rest of the world combined. This is not incremental advantage, it is order of magnitude dominance. Germany faces not defeat, but obliteration. Yet, the miracle's meaning transcends military victory. It proves democracy's superiority to dictatorship, freedom's advantage over tyranny, voluntary cooperation's strength over forced obedience. The workers who achieve this transformation are not slaves or conscripts, but free citizens united in common purpose. Göring's contempt for American production stands as history's most catastrophic miscalculation. His failure to recognize American capabilities seals the Third Reich's fate before the first bomber reaches German skies. The transformation from 3,000 to 100,000 aircraft annually demonstrates that free societies, when facing existential threats, can achieve the impossible. American workers don't just meet Roosevelt's goal, they double it. They don't just match German production, they exceed it fivefold while fighting on two fronts. The arsenal of democracy proves that production lines can be as decisive as front lines, that assembly workers can be as crucial as soldiers, that industrial mobilization can deter mine victory as surely as military strategy. Göring learns this lesson too late. From his sneer in May 1940 to his final confession in October 1946, his journey traces the arc of Nazi Germany's destruction. His mockery of democratic industry becomes history's most expensive joke, paid for in the currency of total defeat. America produces 295,959 military aircraft. Germany, 94,677. But the real victory lies in method. Free workers outproduce slaves. Democratic cooperation exceeds totalitarian command. A nation of immigrants and diverse citizens unites to achieve the impossible. The B-24 bombers rolling off Willow Run every 63 minutes are more than machines. They are democracy's answer to tyranny. Each rivet driven by a woman who was a housewife months before. Each engine built by a teenager who left school to serve. Each wing assembled by workers who fled poverty and discrimination. All prove that free peoples, united in righteous cause, can bury tyranny under an avalanche of production. Göring laughed at the idea of America producing 50,000 planes a year. America responded by building twice that many, transforming global history in the process. His laughter echoes through history as the sound of catastrophic miscalculation. The fatal dismissal of democracy's arsenal by a man who understood neither democracy nor production. In the end, both buried him and everything he represented under 300,000 aircraft that turned his contempt into history's most complete defeat.